Aloha Pepsi Cola.
Alrighty, we're in downtown Springfield, and we're gonna check out Lincoln's neighborhood. Now I saw that the house tour is gonna be like an hour's wait for it, so still not sure I'll be able to do that. We'll see. So yeah, this is a little bit of downtown Springfield. You have the Capitol building down that direction. I think that's like the tallest building in Springfield. Right there. Interesting shape to it. Kind of like a air control tower almost looking design to it. Well, yeah, this is like a couple blocks of neighborhood they just kind of preserved. Like the 19th century. Yeah, it's just so cool how they've preserved this whole neighborhood like this. All the sidewalks are all wooden. Yeah, this right here is the Lincoln House. Yeah, it was like cost money to see it too. Wow. Pretty cool. One thing I do remember last time was there was like a bee farm back here. I wonder if they still have it. Oh yeah, there it is. So yeah, we got some bee farms back here. Some honeybees at work. So I don't think I just lost my mind there after all the Route 66 kicking, but I think I might have just saw Abraham Lincoln. I think he might be still around. I think he pulled that Jimmy Hoffa. I think he's just been retired and relaxing ever since.
Anyway, he came out, and so he gave a fairly brief little address, which I will imitate. And people who were there, after it was all over, wrote down in journals and diaries the way it sounded. His voice was higher than mine and a bit nasal, so I'll approximate that. And also, they said that he was rather emotional, which he didn't like being emotional in public speeches, but this was an emotional time, and as he said in his remarks, he didn't know if he'd ever come back, and he never did alive. Down the other direction is the other tracks that we have on 3rd Street. This is 8th, so just 5 blocks down, and he came back on those tracks from Chicago. These tracks didn't go to Chicago in those days, but he came back as a corpse on that one. So anyway, but they said his breast heaved with emotion, and it seemed like he wasn't certain exactly what to say, and I'm sure he wasn't, but so I'll try to give the speech as I think he did. It was February when he left, the day before his birthday, so he was not dressed in his summer whites. If you go in the visitor center, you'll see a picture of Lincoln in August out in front of his house wearing his summer outfit. So just imagine me in the winter with black wool and standing in front of a group of people, a large group of people. My friends, no one not in my situation can appreciate my feeling of sadness at this parting. To this place, to the kindness of these people, I owe everything. Here, I have lived a quarter of a century and passed from a young to an old man. Here, my children have been born, and one is buried. I now leave, not knowing when or whether ever I may return, with the task before me greater than that which rested upon Washington. Without the aid of that divine being, whoever attended him, I cannot succeed. With that aid, I cannot fail. Trusting in him, who can go with me and remain with you, and be everywhere for good, let us confidently hope that all will yet be well. To his care commending you, as I trust in your prayers you will commend me, I bid you an affectionate farewell. And with that, the train pulled out. So, thank you. Lincoln went back inside the car and sat sat down apparently, and he and his assistant secretary, John Hay, decided that it was just from Pike County. They decided that maybe they should write down what he just said. Turned out probably better than he thought. So there's if you go to the station there, they've got a 5,000-pound railroad safe in there, and there's some brochures in there. And this is Lincoln has one here, and in the brochure is a picture of what they wrote. They wrote it in pencil, and if you look at it, you'll see the top third is in different handwriting. It's Lincoln's hand, and then it changes because he apparently gave the pencil over to John Hay, and they finished either because he thought he couldn't think and write at the same time, or because he was maybe dressing it up a bit, or just struggling to remember. But whatever the case, we do have the record of what he said. I approximated pretty closely what his version was. There were also two other versions, because out in the crowd that day, in those days we had two newspapers, the Journal and the Register. And the Journal was the Republican paper, formerly the Whig paper, and the Register was the Democrat paper. And in those days they had what they called phonographers, which wrote in shorthand. How many of you remember when ladies had to take shorthand classes in school if they wanted to be a secretary so they could take dictation? So they wrote down in shorthand what he said, and so there's three versions online if you look up the speech. And so I did pretty much what Lincoln himself wrote, only changed a couple words. So anyway, that was his Springfield farewell address, and when they got to the Indiana border, they got on a new train with a new inaugural car, and as they got closer to Washington, they kept changing trains and cars, and the inaugural cars got fancier and fancier as they got farther east. So, but they finally made it, and they were reunited in Washington. So, anybody have a question about any of that? Well, we're delighted that you came to join us here at the Lincoln Home National Historic Site, and Mrs. Brown and I are a part of a summer-long citywide sponsored program called History Comes Alive, and runs June through first week of August. So next week will be our last week.
Okay.
And, but we hope you come back anytime you feel like it. This is probably the national center to learn things about Abraham Lincoln and his times. So we hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You weren't injured, were you? Okay.
There you go.
Give a boy a stick and everybody look out. It can be a
Believe
little
that.
confusing, especially if you visited my tomb already.
We did not. When we saw you when we were going to the house, Abraham Lincoln is still alive.
In spirit, for sure.
I'm just pretending. It's kind of an early Halloween costume.
Hey, we just like Halloween year long.
Yeah.
Oh, did you go to New Salem?
There you go. There he is. It's still out here.
Holy crap, it's Cozy Dog. I found it. Hey. So we made it to one of the destinations. Check that out. So this is the Cozy Drive-In. World famous for their corn dogs. So we're gonna try that out. So that's where we're at, Springfield. I can't believe that. I must have missed that. Alright, we're gonna have to go back now. I imagine even then there's probably some things I missed in between. Probably. It's a Cozy Dog Drive-In. It's a family owned since 1950. It's famous for a hot dog on a stick. Cool. Wow, yeah. So it's Robert Wallmeyer. He was the guy who made the murals in Pontiac. There's a bus and there's that van that was part of the museum. It's Bob Wallmeyer. This sign there. There's like some rubber ducks and a crane machine there. So some block one. Huh. Cool. So this right here is a Cozy Dog, or as otherwise known as corn dog. All right, we did the Cozy Dog. I thought it was pretty good. I'm not like the biggest, corn dog person, like I'm corny, but I'm not a corn dog type of person. And so I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, for a corn dog. But it wasn't a corn dog, it was a Cozy Dog. You gotta get that right. So anyway, got that taken care of. Now, sadly, we are not going to be ending this in the rabbit ranch, unfortunately. You just gotta realize just how massive this place is, This whole Route 66, the Mother Road, it is vast. So, I think we're going to end it off either the brick road or something else. Well, yeah, let's get back on the road. So we finally made it. Not raining this time. Oh, finally. It's Brick Road. Everybody's checking out the Brick Road. Man. 1920s, 30s brick here. It's the original highway. It's quite the rarity. This might actually be the from the bricks, actually. Like when the water is gonna drain off into here, I get actually staining the rocks from the clay. At least it appears that way. So yeah, it's quite the rarity. You can see a lot of brick roads, country roads like this, especially out in like the here like this. So yeah, here we are, the brick road. Brick Road of Route 66. So, didn't quite make it to a destination we were hoping for, but I mean, yeah, there's so much to see, so it's a given. So, that being said, I don't know if it's gonna be next weekend. Probably not the next weekend after that, but one of these weekends ahead, I'll be doing the same thing, picking up right where I left off, somewhere around Springfield probably start off there again, and then we'll definitely be able to make it to that rabbit ranch for sure this time around. So I will see you there and see you later. Have a great one. Have a great one.